We're back here in the WCEG studio on Church Biz with Pastor Betty J. Holland Williams.
Yeah.
I'm saying her whole name.
Right.
But we are so honored to have you here with us. Again, she's president-elect of the Concerned Black Clergy of Metropolitan Atlanta, Inc. I don't know why I keep tripping over clergy, but it's a good thing. This is a good thing. And so we're so happy for you, and we're excited for you, and we're looking forward to more great things coming from your ministry. This is another platform for you, and we know that you will leave a legacy, because the term is only 2 years, correct?
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
So it's not like a lifetime commitment. So you have to hit the ground running. You don't have time to spend trying to fix a whole lot of stuff. That's why you already have your agenda. You already know what to address.
Yes.
But like you mentioned in the first segment, some people go in, they spend time trying to tear down what
the
others,
previous presidents have done. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm going to build on what they have already laid and add to it, to just make it better. As a matter of fact, the theme for this year is Better Begins With Me.
I like that.
So instead of, wanting other people to do this and do that, we're getting wristbands made that say, Better Begins With Me. And that will improve any organization when it begins individually. Yes.
All right. Question. How do you all fund your efforts? Like, where does the money come from?
We have membership fees that are paid every year. If our churches join the organization, individuals join the organization, if corporations join, there are different prices, of course, but membership fees is what sponsors our funds our organization. Also, there are corporations in the city that will just donate to our organization, like Wells Fargo, like Bank of America, like Georgia Power. These are our big sponsors, so they see what we're doing and they get involved and give us money to continue to do what we do. So we're always happy about that.
So we need to be praying for Wells Fargo right now.
Exactly, in a big way. So no shutdown would take place.
Yeah, really. That was interesting to hear all of that going on.
Yeah.
Where the people couldn't get the money out or check their accounts or things like that. And I'm like,
what is going on? Nobody seemed to know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But I think it's over now.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over now.
And so that's interesting. Did you all go, or were they already sponsors prior to you joining the organization, or did somebody go out and present the business plan to
proposal?
them?
Yeah, some years ago. It's been, my goodness, I want to say 10 years, maybe even more. Our previous presidents, they approach these organizations, these corporate organizations, and let them know what we're doing and what we're trying to do and how their sponsorship will help us do it. And they saw what we were doing. That's another testament that somebody in that arena saw that the Concerned Black Clergy was doing some things that were positive and needed and wanted to get involved. So yes, they were approached.
I'm thinking of like Concerned Black Clergy, NAACP, so on and so forth. The more progressive constituents of our society now, they're kind of thinking that these organizations are no longer viable, but they are so needed, and don't realize that what you all do has given a pathway for them to step up to where they are. They don't see the connection. So will that be addressed in any format? Because my kids, they're young adults, but they need to know that you all just don't help those people over there, but what you do helps us all.
Exactly. And matter of fact, to become a member at that age, we have a segment called just students. Students can become members of Concerned Black Clergy, and there's a place for them as well. Now, young people's division. So it's just always something for everybody to do. And that's why we make it plain. You don't have to be clergy. You just have to be concerned.
Is that statement on the website?
No, it's not. It comes out of our mouth. We like saying it.
It needs to be on there. That is so
like, you don't have to be clergy. You don't have to be black. But you do have to be concerned.
I like that.
There's a place for everybody. It's just so much, I can't say it enough, just a well of information that you can get to make your own life better and then pass on to other people, Even when the politics is a big thing, the voting arena, how to do that, to get registered, first of all, and then how to do that, how to do absentees and stuff like that. People don't know how to do that. And people who are not savvy on the computer and don't know how to download things. And, you can find out you don't have to do that either. But you wouldn't know that if you didn't come to get the information. So there's just all kinds of things you can find out.
Okay. And you brought out a good thing that's constant in our minds about the voter fraud issues, all of that. So what makes people eligible and ineligible to vote?
In this state of Georgia, 18 and above, you're eligible to vote. I mean, I don't know what would keep you from it. Sometimes if you have a felon on your record, your job then is to try and get that expunged so that you can do your political right to vote. That's how you can become eligible, because it can be expunged if it's just for that reason, to vote.
Okay.
Yes. So, and of course, the right age.
Yeah,
the right age. Because we have so many people now, they're voting for the very first time. I'm trying to think way back, the very first time. You're 18, you're 21. And you voted for the very first time. That's exciting. So be sure to register, though.
Yeah, have to register to vote in order to get your name on is it the ballot?
Yeah.
Not the ballot, but
registration.
The voter
terms together.
The voter registration, the registry, I guess.
Registry, that's the word. In order to be eligible to vote. So you have to get all of your identification documents to match. And I it's those little hiccups, those little things that we like to have our whole history attached on our names like it's a badge of honor, but then when you go somewhere your identification documents don't match, well, you're giving them, or those people that don't want your vote to count, leeway to say, hey, you
don't qualify.
Right. And we have to do our part too. We can't just count on them to, in other words, we need to come correct, because and I work in the human resources department, and that thing is a huge issue there. Is wherever you go, people like to have all these different names, nicknames. They like to be, if you've been married 5 times, all 5 names plus the maiden name is on. It's like, why? If you're not that person anymore, just use your current ID and just keep it moving, but why do we do that?
I don't know why we do it. I don't know is an answer. I don't know why we do that. I don't know. Maybe want to be more than we are. I really don't know why we do that. I don't know the answer to that question.
So I think that's an issue in itself, because people just, anyway, it's a huge thing. Wherever you are, it's not even just with the voter fraud thing or the voter issues. It's where you go to work. We have times in human resources trying to locate employees. They're supposed to be getting promoted, but sometimes because they're using different names than what they need to, you might miss out on getting that money a little bit early. And they're not giving you back pay. So who are you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
Well, one thing won't change, those fingerprints.
Right. So, and maybe that is something that needs to be considered when it comes to the voter fraud issues in regards to the voter thing. But that's probably going to be more money put on the communities or the citizens of Georgia if they do something like that here. So let's not give that idea out.
Right. Right. Really.
But you know, the voter fraud stats are not as high as some opponents make it to believe for different types of elections that come into place, because the voter suppression is much higher than the voter fraud.
Right,
That's
right.
the problem. That's why I can't understand why, if our vote, that's why I tell people our vote does matter.
Yeah.
Because why would you, I mean, why are we so being suppressed for voting if our vote didn't count?
True that.
Right.
And so those
Right.
numbers, and when you were mentioning about the felons, convicted felons, once you've served your time here in Georgia, you are allowed to register to vote. A lot of states will allow convicted felons once their time is served, once you pay your debt to society. But there are a lot of states that still will not allow felons to vote.
Right.
But I just wanted to put those two points
That's
out there
good.
for you guys. You ladies.
And then the felon is different than the ex-offender. So we need to make those.
Right, convicted
okay.
felons. Once you served your time, you can register to vote.
Okay. Okay.
But other than that, there should be no reason for you not to.
Right.
Once you serve if you were a convicted felon. Everybody else, you're still eligible to vote.
And I should know this stuff since I work with jail ministry, but I will know this
but
the
it's
next
just-
time you come on the air. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm one of those people, I believe, and this is kind of off the subject, but concerned black clergy would be instrumental, I think, to help make us more aware of what we are entitled to do when it comes to elections. I believe that if my vote does not count, and if I can't get any public assistance or any educational benefits or any health services because I'm an ex-felon, I also believe we should not be paying taxes either.
Okay.
Because you're basically taking my citizenship away from me, my entitlement. And yes, I might have messed up, but at the same time, why am I still mandated to pay into the system that I can't get anything out of?
That's good.
So that's just my personal view,
That's good. You got my vote. You got my vote on that. Yeah, that's good.
And so, bottom line is concerned black clergy is doing your part, but you need us to do our part as well, because this is a relationship with the clergy, and you don't have to be clergy like you mentioned to be a part of CBC, but everything needs a working relationship in order for things to work effectively.
Everybody has a part to play. That's exactly right. Yes.
And so we have to find what that place is. Yeah.
You do your part. Make sure you're eligible to vote, and then we'll do our part and be sure you get there. We do that. We do that as well.
Okay.
We get vans. We'll take you there if you don't have a way. Our elderly, we'll get you there because it's just that important. Your vote does count.
Right,
Just
right.
that important.
It really is, because you got to consider, even with our new governor.
Okay.
Okay, he had to oversee the elections that he was. Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying.
I'm the ball player.
Okay, being the same person, but anyway.
I don't even know how that was even possible.
Yeah. Well, it was state law,
because you have to do one or the other. It's like as president-elect of Concerned Black Clergy, I can't be on the nominating committee.
All right now.
Right.
And be a nominee. I can't be on the nominating committee and then nominate myself.
Right,
that doesn't go together.
Right.
And so I never did understand how that thing could take place. Help me with that.
And well, what I had to understand and learn about our system, There's nothing on the state laws that's saying that a person cannot do that. However, it's more of a moral issue for me.
It would be for me
you're
as
saying,
well.
That's what I'm saying. So you would think morally, now you're thinking, okay, well, if I'm going to run for office and I'm over the, I'm governing the voter laws and registration and voter registration. So me trying to purge all these voters for a little niche on their voter registration form or their voter registry, it's a moral issue. So that makes me wonder, are you going to be a good candidate if you don't have morals?
You have good morals.
Even though state law, so that's why we need to go back to our legislation and change these laws to make sure, because the first thing they pointed out, okay, well, you had Democrats that did it in the past, but the Democrats didn't go in trying to purge thousands of voters.
Right.
They didn't try to go in to keep people from voting. They didn't start making it complicated for you to vote. So, anyway.
Okay, so the law is messed up.
Right. It's the state law
And
that
a
says
moral
that they
issue.
can.
And
Right.
a moral issue too for
Yes.
me. So.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And because the state law says they can maintain their positions, as commissioners if they're running for political office. And so that's what really needs to be talked about. And I think I'm hearing little whispers of that. So, how that's an issue now, but we probably really need to follow through with finding out where we are in Georgia with that particular thing, because even the state employees, if you're an employee of the state of Georgia, and the governor is the commander-in-chief, if you will, of that force, we aren't allowed to partake in lobbying for certain contract services if we know somebody on that committee. That's why everybody's supposed to come up and have fair game at submitting their own bids for jobs, even in city government, every government. But you're not supposed to be saying, hey, I need you to hire them. That's my uncle's business. That type of thing. It's the same exact thing, but yet we're held accountable to those particular issues, if something like that comes up, because we hear it in the news all the time, where some research organization has found out that somebody got a contract because so-and-so was married to them and they work for this mayor or that city council leader. We hear that stuff all the time. So if the state employee is held to that mandate, then what? But anyway, enough of that. Getting back to concerned black clergy. All right, so
we're concerned about that. Okay,
yeah,
we're really concerned about that, because if the law doesn't say that there was nothing wrong with that, then why did it come up? Why was it such a no-no? Why was it such a boo-boo, if you will, when it did come up?
The way that it's being handled. If this individual is taking away people's right to vote for, I won't say just for their benefit,
well, you
but
can
it was
say
benefiting them. But it was benefiting
really was.
them, especially when